Our story begins with a bold decision. A YouTuber decided to take on one of the wildest challenges ever, buying a wrecked Lamborghini Aventador SVJ from a Copart auction, a car that's already one of the most extreme machines ever built. But this one, it had been through a serious crash. Despite the risks, this was an opportunity that couldn't be ignored. A car higher in value than a brand-new Lamborghini, without a single drop of electricity involved. The kind of car most people would run away from. But for our host, this was the start of an incredible rebuild adventure. Before we dive in, if you love epic rebuilds and crazy transformations, make sure to subscribe, because this one is something else. All right, let's jump straight into it. When the Aventador SVJ was brand new, it sold for around $600,000. But after the crash, it went up for auction at a fraction of that price. The damage looked bad, really bad. But nothing was impossible. Our host went to pick it up, determined to bring it back to life. Even though rebuild videos usually bring views and sponsors, this project had to make sense as a deal on its own. This wasn't going to be a repeat of the previous disaster rebuild. This time, things had to go right. It was the first time he ever sat inside an SVJ. And surprisingly, the airbags hadn't deployed, which was a huge win, considering how expensive Lamborghini airbags are. The engine didn't run, but that was expected. What wasn't expected was discovering that this particular car was a roadster, a convertible version with a removable roof, and one of only 800 in the world. He loaded it onto a trailer and took it straight to the workshop. At first glance, the steering wheel looked rough, the left rear wheel was out of place, and there were signs of fire damage near the rear, likely from the oil cooler explosion during the crash. Luckily, a protective PPF layer on the carbon fiber had helped prevent a full fire. Time to get to work. Step 1. Lift the car and remove the rear engine cover. The oil dipstick showed nothing. Completely dry. That meant one thing: no oil at all. Trying to start the engine like this would have meant total destruction, so they assumed all the oil had leaked through the broken radiator. While trying to remove the wheels, they realized the center lock tool was missing. No problem. A friend came to the rescue with one. They began removing the damaged rear parts, the bumper, spoiler, and taillights, to reach the oil cooler. The plan? Bypass the damaged cooler temporarily, refill the engine with oil, and test if it could start. But as they worked, they noticed something strange. Missing bolts, misplaced fasteners, disconnected wiring, even unplugged sensors and cameras. Clearly, someone had worked on this before. Fortunately, many parts from the standard Aventador fit perfectly, and they're far cheaper than exclusive SVJ components. Next, they removed the broken oil cooler. The main return pipe to the engine was cracked. That's why all the oil had leaked. The cooler itself was toast. A quick eBay search later, a used replacement was ordered for $940. They installed it, connected the lines, and filled up the oil again. They hooked up an external jumper battery, checked the pyro fuse, luckily intact, and powered the car. The digital screen came to life, showing only 23,000 miles. Moment of truth. Turn the key. Nothing. The screen flashed a low battery warning. Even with boost mode, it wouldn't crank, so they doubled up batteries, 2 external jumpers and the main one, to get enough power for the massive V12 starter. Still nothing. Then came a theory. The car's supercapacitor might be dead. This component helps the small battery crank the big engine, but if the main battery's been dead too long, the capacitor loses its charge. So, they bypassed the system, directly connecting the capacitor wire to a 12-volt battery. Tried again. Still nothing. No sound from the starter. Maybe it was jammed? They raised the car, removed the panels, and decided to manually test the starter. The Aventador uses a single-clutch automated manual transmission, meaning it could be stuck in gear, which would prevent the engine from spinning freely. They manually sent 12 volts to the starter, and it spun. Finally, proof that the engine wasn't seized. However, the car was still locked in first gear. That meant it couldn't start normally. They hooked up a diagnostic tool. Only minor faults showed up, mainly from rear sensors. So they contacted a Lamborghini specialist, who confirmed the issue. The transmission pump wasn't building pressure. Without 50 bars of hydraulic pressure, the system can't shift to neutral. To test it, they bypassed the relay with a wire and heard the pump come alive. But the sound never changed. Pressure wasn't building. The data confirmed it. Only 1.5 bar of pressure. That's when they found a crack in the transmission housing. The valve seat had broken, the gasket failed, and hydraulic oil leaked out. The real cause of all this mess. The bad news? Lamborghini doesn't sell that valve separately. You have to buy an entire transmission for $18,000. But they reinstalled everything properly, refilled the oil, and finally, the pump built full pressure. The gearbox switched into neutral, the system calibrated itself, and after weeks of fighting, the V12 roared to life for the first time. Pure magic. With the engine running, they began inspecting the chassis. The left rear corner had taken a serious hit. Underneath, the carbon fiber tub was fine, but a bolted-on aluminum frame section was bent. Thankfully, that piece was replaceable. They removed the suspension arm, which was slightly bent, and confirmed it needed replacing. A used one cost $6,700, while a new one from Lamborghini was over $15,000. Painful, but necessary. A friend who specializes in aluminum welding came to fix the cracked frame. Using templates and precision measurements, he cut out the damaged section and welded in a new piece. The result was perfect. They verified all suspension points and even measured the chassis diagonally. Every millimeter matched. That meant the structure was straight and solid again. Now it was time to make the beast breathe right. The engine wasn't running smoothly because the oxygen sensors were disconnected. These sensors read the air-fuel mixture, essential for proper combustion. They discovered that the previous owner had installed an aftermarket titanium exhaust, which didn't fit perfectly and caused leaks. The team removed the heavy muffler system and replaced it with a brand-new Valvetronic titanium exhaust, much lighter and perfectly tuned. Before reinstalling everything, they ran the car open-header. And the sound? Absolutely insane. Raw, deafening, pure Lamborghini V12 thunder. With the new sensors and exhaust fitted, the idle stabilized, the sound became cleaner, and the car finally ran like a dream. By this point, the total rebuild cost had reached $311,000, still far less than buying a clean SVJ. And the best part? It was now fully functional again. There were still cosmetic fixes to go. Panels, paint, alignment, but the heart of the car was alive once more. It's hard to describe the feeling of bringing something this powerful back from the dead. The mix of adrenaline, frustration, and triumph, that's what makes these rebuilds so addictive. This project wasn't just about fixing a car. It was about reviving a legend.